Well, if I'm gonna hear, if I know I'm gonna talk to someone, okay, whom I do not like, or I have heard that the person is very harsh, very rude, I already have this perception that okay, he's harsh, he's rude, whatever he's gonna talk is useless, he just knows to fire. That's my perception. And with this, if I go and talk to him, will I be interested and actually listening? No. Because first thing as I've already set my mind, I'm not listening. That's perception. That's the disadvantage of perception. And based on this negative perception, if I take judgments that would lead negative, if that would lead to a negative effect on my business, hence perception should be avoided. Lack of knowledge. As I said in the beginning, knowledge is equally important as your communication is important, as your skill to communicate is important. Similarly, now knowledge is also important. If you do not have the knowledge of a subject, you cannot speak. Or if you do not have knowledge of the message that you're trying to give, you cannot speak. So before you speak, you need to have the knowledge. This is on the part of the speaker. Now, if I am talking, I have full knowledge of, let's say, C++. I am talking about C++, but my colleague has heard me, plainly heard me, not responded. Why? Because he did not have any knowledge of C++. He doesn't know what I'm talking. C++ is something French and Latin to him. He doesn't know. So, knowledge of the subject or the message that we are talking should be, we should have that knowledge. We should have proper knowledge of the subject that we are talking. Poor retention. What is poor retention? What is this girl trying to do? She's trying to recollect. What was it? What was the message? Boss did say something. Now what's it? That's because that's her own inability to remember the message. Let's say after the boss gave her the message, she was busy with some other work, and after she finished the work, she is trying to recollect what was the message, but she's not able to because it's her inability. And many a times it is also the inability of the speaker. A poor attention on the speaker's part may affect, like, he has come to talk about something or give some message or called up a friend, and forgot. Why did he do that? He forgot the crust, that why is he communicating, what was the topic. So poor attention could be on the speaker's part as well as on the receiver's part as well, but in either ways it affects my communication. So after we have identified certain barriers to communication, let us understand what the tips for effective communication, or how can we make our communication more effective. So here are some tips for effective communication. You see, this person is communicating to his team. Yeah, this person is communicating to his team. Maybe he's explaining something, a new project or appraisal or whatever. What we see, what we can judge looking at this image is he is having a good conversation, rather a good communication, a effective communication, because he is, we can see his colleagues responding to him in a positive manner. And with looking at his gesture also, we do not we cannot say that he is angry or his communication has failed or something. Okay, so what could be the possible tip of taking a doing a effective communication, good, no, doing a good communication? First rule, that's a kind of a thumb rule, I should say. Be clear. Be as clear as you can. Okay, being clear doesn't mean that okay, your voice is clear. Definitely voice plays a very important role. It has to be clear, your words has to be clear. Okay, and you should be clear about the topic as I have already explained in the previous slide, knowledge of the subject is required, or knowledge of the message is required. We have the knowledge. Let's say, for example, I know C++, but when I come to speak, I mix C++ with other things. I'm not talking only about C++. I talk about all programming languages. Or let's say I talk about C++, then I talk about something related to my home, then what's going on in the office, and so on and so forth. So what I'm doing is I am not sticking to my topic. I am talking here and there. I'm not clear in my speech. I'm not clear about the topic, which can result into negativity. So if I need an effective communication, I have to clearly talk about the topic. I have to be clear in my voice, my speech, stick to my topic, and also I have to be clear in my thoughts. Okay, that yes, this is what it is, and here I have to finish. That's what is be concise. I cannot just keep prolonging a topic on and cannot put it in a loop. I have to be concise. I have to come to the point as soon as possible. Okay, then only it makes sense to talk, to communicate. Say I need a glass of water. Now if I'm asking round and round, how is the water, do we get water supply, where the water is coming, how much do you pay for the water, okay, what time the water does come, makes no sense. What's my point? I need a glass of water, so come to the point, give me a glass of water. The other person would, otherwise the other person listening to me would get irritated. Why she's asking so many questions? What the hell you want? A glass of water. So be clear and be concise. Next is be audible. By saying that be audible, what I'm trying to say is speak loudly as much as the other person can understand. Now, it doesn't mean that shout on top of your voice or take a loudspeaker in your hand and keep shouting and yelling. No, it means as loud as the person can hear. Say, if I am talking to a person in group, can I shout on top of my voice? No. If I'm talking over phone, I have to be as loud as heard by the person. And certain people are very slow, very soft, not slow. They are very soft spoken. That's a good quality. Being soft spoken and being having polite manners is really very good quality. But that soft voice should reach the ears of the receiver. He should be able to hear you. If I'm standing, I'm addressing an audience, if I'm addressing a class, and I just say, no, no, that doesn't work. I am talking, I know I am talking, but the other person should also know you are talking. Not only talking, you should be able to hear what you are talking, what you're trying to communicate. See, it is the onus of the speaker to pass on the message clearly. So audible is also one of the tips, one of the things that you should take care of. Second is establish eye contact. Are we seeing the establishing eye contact here? This one, this one. This is very important. Whether you are a speaker or whether you are a receiver, you have to establish eye contact. Even while talking, I cannot just continuously look down and talk to the floor, or I look up. Many people tend to speak to you but look around. What does this do? It distracts. It distracts the speaker or the listener. Okay, if it makes me wonder, if someone is not looking at me, that is he not interested in looking at me? I mean, while talking, if you are not addressing the person by looking at him, they do not like that person, is the message that goes across in general. So whenever you talk to anyone, try to establish contact, eye contact. But then establishing eye contact doesn't mean keep staring at that person always, continuously keeps looking at him. No, it doesn't even mean that. If it's an audience, look, take turns to look at everyone. Okay, so that you are in sync with them. You know, okay, yes, they are in sync with you, they are understanding, or they are hearing you, listening to you. Proper body language. Now, again, this is a part of my non verbal communication.